Smuggler here. I'm going to be doing another replay cast. This one again is for Mitchy, but it's not just for Mitchy. This is for everybody who watches and whoever really wants to know a little bit more about Dota and how to play certain roles a little bit better. This one is going to be on a more meta idea, and it's something that you only really start to notice when you get into the or you look to improve upon your gameplay, and that's dead space or dead time. Dead time, dead space is basically, to boil it down in simplest sentence, it's when you're not doing what you should be doing at that time. For example, you're stacking when your safe lane isn't exactly safe. You're not harassing when there's a perfectly good opportunity to harass. The waves come pushed in towards your tower. You can sit up between the wave and the enemy hero offlaner. Maybe it's dual lane. If so is dual lane. I'm going to be basing this more along purely position 5, and it was quite hard for me to start to understand, coming from a offlaner's mentality, where a lot of the time standing there doing completely fuck all is actually really good, because as long as you're in XP range, they don't know you're there and you're getting full XP. It's awesome. But then you go into a position 5 role, and it was the amount of work and the amount of thinking that goes into that role is a lot higher in certain areas than it is sometimes for an offlaner. For an offlaner, it's a lot more reactive. You have to really think on your feet. You have to think exactly how to get out of certain situations quite quickly. You have to think 5 moves ahead in the space of a second or two. But when it comes to position 5, you have to think about 5 different things at once, but spread out over a long time. You need to think, okay, this, and this, and this need to happen at these times, and I need to do this here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk exclusively in this video about how to optimize your time and combat your dead time, or your dead space. So I'm going to use Mitchy's secondary line game as a basically a way to point out ways to decrease your dead space and dead time. So we'll go free camera and just jump over here. Right, first thing, I know I say this all the time, Mitchy, but quicker off the block, like a lot quicker off the block. You have to be like bang, you know your items, you've had all that time in the picking phase to know exactly what hero you got, you know exactly who's going where as soon as you hit the screen. So buying your items and getting out there should be your first priority. It should be within less than 10 seconds you should be doing it. Right, now before I get into the dead space thing, I just want to point out this for you personally, Mitchy. Once you get out of your base, as a position 5, you want to be moving here. This is where you want to kind of be seated. Unless you're going up against a team when you know they're going to be rotating in as 5 or 4 or whatever. You want to quickly get here. So you buy everything, drop everything, get everything done, and start moving in, because this is what happens. You get there before he does, and he can't get his ward down, and now you're pretty sweet. You know? Okay, so I'm going to jump forward a little bit. Okay, here we go. See how you're positioned here? This is when you need, so dead space, dead time, how I combat that is very simple. I ask myself 3 questions constantly. The first question is, the first one I ask myself is safe lane priority. That encapsulates how is the lane, how is the enemy offlaner, and how is my carry. So I look at the enemy offlaner and I'm going, okay, lane's kind of high at the moment. I really want it about here. So I'm looking at pulling, right? I haven't checked. I usually check these at a minute, but you've got a little bit left. Oh, sorry, 33 seconds. I usually check at 33 seconds after I get back from the lane. Usually first harass at the lane, to make sure I have a pull. If not, I'm pretty much exclusive using this camp to pull now anyway, since it clears away quite quickly, but it's a lot more contested. So my first thing is equilibrium. Should I be pulling? Should I not be pulling? how is it? Should I be talking to my carry, telling him that he needs to be a bit more safe because I'm going to pull? It's going to drop under the tower, maybe. That kind of thing. That's the first thing that I look at is how should I be controlling the wave. At lower levels, it's the supports, pretty much the support's job to control the wave, because you will never see a carry below 4k know how to static farm and know how to control the wave and control the equilibrium. You'll never see that. So it's usually the support's job. Once you get above 4k, it's a lot easier. You have carries that just, you could literally leave them in lane, they'll get 10 CS a freaking minute, and they'll probably kill the offlaner at the same time. Like, you don't even have to worry. And then you get, Russians, Peruvians, Pinoys, and a multitude of others, especially Australians. We're horrible at it. Some of us, don't get me started. But, so that's the first question I ask myself. Safe lane priority. How is the wave, and how is the offlaner? So the second part of that first question is, how is the offlaner? Is he just sitting there, like just in pure vision, getting as much XP as he wants, even going in for last hits? Then I go, okay, so if the lane equilibrium needs to be pulled a bit, that kind of leads on to the second one. So if the equilibrium's fine, then I can move on. Then I can go, alright, I'm going to go up here, I'm going to sit between the waves, I'm going to harass out the offlaner, if it's a solo offlaner like it is here. So you haven't put a point in anything yet. I would have got probably would have got Earth Spike. I might have even gone Hex, but I probably would have gone Earth Spike. Once you sit further up. So at the moment it's a bit high, so I'll be looking to pull, because I want my wave here. I want it to be sitting here constantly. And at 47 you look to stat, but that's the part 2. So first question, safe lane priority, equilibrium. You need to be constantly checking the equilibrium wave. Is it going to push? Is it going to pull? And then you look at how's the offlaner. Is he getting lots of experience? That's not good. If the wave's pushing up, then you need to pull it. And once you pulled it, then you move on and start harassing him out. Right? If he can contest you, then you need to ask for help from your safe lane carry. Because if you get help from your safe lane carry, yes, they might miss maybe 5-6 CS, but you've now controlled and not won, but you've controlled your lane. You've controlled the enemy offlaner, and the next 2-3 minutes of CS are going to be more than relatively easy for him. You need to communicate that to your carry, and everything will start to flow a little bit better. Then the third part, which is probably the biggest part, but it does come after equilibrium and harass, is your carry's safety. How safe are they? If you've got a freaking aggressive dual lane of Lich Undying, and you've got a freaking Sven as the as your carry, his safety is constantly jeopardized. So you need to actually be within reach of him at all times. You need to have a stun ready at all times. You need to have a grave ready at all times. You need to have a heal or some form of way to save your carry at all times. So their safety usually comes after those two, because if you can control your wave, you don't really have to worry much about Lich, because I know he's denying, but if you're constantly pulling at the same time, he's not exactly going to be doing the same effect with his sacrifices you would have. So the third part of that is safety. Is he safe? Is my carry safe? If he's not safe, or she's not safe, then you need to look at what you can do to maximize his safety. Should I ask for a rotation from somewhere else? Do I have a tri-lane? Is it only a dual lane? If it is a dual lane, then you need, once you've got through all those things, the equilibrium's fine, you're harassing out the offlaner, your carry is safe. Once you've got all through those things and everything's sweet, and you know that the next 2 minutes is the equilibrium's going to be fine, for the next 2 minutes your carry knows what he's doing, he can sit between the wave, you don't have to be there, then you have to look at your vision, or your jungle vision. So this is the second part of the question I asked myself. What can I see? What is the jungle like? Am I seeing? So those three things are part of your jungle vision. What can I see? Can I see the enemy offlaner? Do I have a lane ward? If I don't have a lane ward, then where is he? Should I be looking for him? Is he getting experience? Check the check the scoreboard to see if he's getting experience. If he's getting experience, then you need to find him. If you can't see him, he's probably hiding around here. You need to search for him. So once you've done all that, that's your jungle. So once you've gone through your safe lane priority questions, equilibrium, harass, safety, move on to jungle vision questions. What can I see? How is the jungle? Can I be seen? How is the jungle? Your lane's fine. You've harassed him out. Your carry's level 3. He's still level 1 or 2. Your carry's very safe. He doesn't have to worry. You can see the offlaner, like he's just stuck under his tower or he's moved away, and you have a lane ward so you know when he's going to be moving up. That's when you look at your jungle, right? Can I stack? Should I be stacking? What time is it? You know, that kind of stuff. If you start to look at that kind of stuff, you'll be making a lot more. You'll be maximizing your time and reducing your dead space or dead time. For example, you're pulling here at the moment, which is fine. That's good. It's 2 minutes in for a pull, and it's all the way up. So now it's really like the creep wave's just gone completely on the tower. But I'm not really going to be focusing on mistakes or positives that you've done this game. I'm going to be focusing on just the greater aspects of this.
Radiant's bottom tower
So the first part is safe lane priority, equal harass, safety, jungle vision. Can I see the offlaner? Yes. How is the jungle? Should I be stacking? You want to be moving usually around the stack times every if you can every minute, but usually it's every 2 minutes. You want to be moving out of the wave at usually around 1 minute 30 towards towards the jungle camp, stack at 153, and then move down to the rune. That's usually what you want to be doing. This is fine if you had your. I'm pretty sure. You need to be moving a little bit further off from him so you don't get hit with. Like, you guys are doing no damage, so. And he needs to bounce his snake off creeps before. Anyway, not focusing on that. So you've got everything down. You've got your equal, harass, safety. You can see the offlaner. You're moving through the jungle at the right times to stack. Everything's going really, really well. Then you need to focus on your wards, right? And their wards. You need to focus on their wards. Can you be seen? Move around a bit, go through the jungle a bit. If the offlaner changes how he's acting, if he looks like he's backing off from the lane when you start to move through, then you kind of know they've got a ward there. Maybe look for wards at the rune spots, that kind of stuff. This is maximizing your time. You're moving, so basically a great way to do this would be, say, 1 minute 30. You move out of the wave, you stack this hard camp, which you're kind of playing with now, or pulling now. You stack that, move down to the rune. As you get the rune, you drop a sentry. You check all the normal spots for a ward at the rune spot with your sentry. Then you move back, right? And by now you should be moving back at about 2 minute 34, 2 minute 35. You should be very close to being able to pull your pull camp into your lane if the equilibrium's pushing up. So that kind of, you've done like 5 or 6 things, and you're actually back here, right here, ready to pull if you need to be. So that's maximizing your time, and that's after you've checked whether or not your equilibrium, and your harass, and your offlane, and your vision, all that. So that's part 2. Part 1, safe lane priority, equilibrium, harass, safety. Part 2, jungle vision. Can I see the offlaner? How's my jungle looking, and what can they see? And then part 3 is usually the last thing you need to be doing, unless your mid's getting destroyed. Then you need to be doing this a little bit earlier. Sorry, let me take a drink of beer. Your part 3 is rotations. Rotations usually should only happen if you're the solo support, right? Position 5 support. No, you're going to live here. Should only happen is if you've ticked off every single one of those things. Say it's like 3 minutes in, right? Your carry's level 4 or 5 or 4, whatever it is. Usually around 3, 4. right? You've stacked it, maybe 1 or 2 camps. You've harassed out the offlaner. He's still level 1. You know, you've dewarded a sentry and you've grabbed the 2-minute rune, which was a bounty, which allowed you to get a smoke or maybe boots or something. You look mid and you check and you go, oh, okay, he's got enough mana. You tell mid, hey, don't use your mana as much. I'll rotate through at 4 minutes 15. So what you do is you smoke at 3 minutes 55, take the rune at 4 minutes, move mid, and then you gank. That's a rotation. Right? That's your sweep. You kill, you don't kill, it doesn't really matter. You're still making rotations. You're still going to cause friction. You're still going to be moving and making the most out of your time. It's the super simple things like that. Once you've done all those things, your rotation should be when, why, and how. When, you usually want to do it during night time when the vision's lowest, so your rotations usually should happen after 4 minutes and before 8 minutes. Why, if you completely ticked off everything from the previous set things, sweet, then you don't need to worry. That's perfect. You've got everything else down pat. Now you can start making your presence known on the map, especially as a lion. You can do so much. And how, usually you want to smoke or you have an invis rune or something happens, it doesn't really matter. Antiseptic. So once you've got all those things done, you just go back through them. Every minute or 2 minutes, you just constantly ask yourself those questions. How is my lane equilibrium? How is the offlaner doing? Is my carry safe? Can I see the offlaner when after I've harassed him out? Do I have stacks in the jungle? Do I need stacks in the jungle? How the vision on? How is their vision? Have I completely shut down their vision, or are they able to see? Do I need to rotate? How am I going to rotate? When am I going to rotate? Constantly ask yourself those questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the first 4, maybe 5 minutes of this game, and I'm going to be telling you to ask yourself those questions constantly.
Radiant's bottom tower
Alright,
is
so
under
let's
attack.
jump back to right here. Let's get rid of the shop. Go free camera. We'll get rid of the shop. Alright, we'll speed it up as well. We'll go 4 times. Okay, so
It's
46, you can move out here. So right, 46, you're moving out. Hit round here around 30.
30 seconds
usually
to
moving out
battle.
about a minute. Hit round here. Move for rune. Should be able to get rune. No contest, easy
The
enough.
battle
Lovely done.
begins.
I'll take that
Um,
as tribute.
Now that you're here, you put a ward or a sentry. No, it's a ward. Nice. Down, they saw that. That's fine. 20. You should be sitting here around 20. Yeah, sit here around 20, and then at 32, you go have a look. If it's warded, it's warded. And you know, sweet. Alright, I gotta buy sentries. I'm gonna get rid of their vision. Alright. This harass, this is fine. That's fine. I don't know what you were doing here. Maybe you just lagged out. Now you need to move up here and come in behind him, and then you can stun. Right? Because the first thing, lane equilibrium, is pretty rough. Right, so you're making the right choice here and going to pull. You could have pulled then, actually. Let's just jump back 10. You went all the way down here when you could have just pulled with the camp here. You did see them there, so I don't know what you... So right, so 140, safe lane priority, equilibrium's pretty shot at the moment, so you're going to pull. Sweet. Once you've pulled, you can look at harassing. Going up against a Tide Hunter, you need to constantly keep distance from him. You can't get hit by Anchor Smash.
Radiant's
Get hit by
bottom
Anchor Smash,
tower is under attack.
you've lost the engagement already, because he can just freely aggro you without even having to worry. Right, so lane equilibrium is pretty nice now. You can move up to harass, but you're not. You're kind of just sitting there. So this is nice. This is nice. Ask him to move up with you. You're getting hit with Anchor Smash. Not right. You've lost that engagement. You should just back off straight away. Now safety of the hero. Not so good. So this is like a really
iffy thing. Probably very weird pull, but you probably want to be pulling soon at least. 3 minutes 44. You kind of really had a tough time because the way you harassed Tidehunter allowed him just to get anchor smashes off on you, and now you're going to be doing no damage to him. So, but the good thing is he didn't get any experience from that. He was level 5. Holy shit! He's destroying you guys. I think you've lost this lane pretty hard. He's going to take the stack as well. So you lost this lane pretty hard. Like, it doesn't seem like you did, but you did, because you've got a freaking level 6 nearly Tidehunter at 6 minutes. Like, this is crazy. Yeah, he's going to before 6 minutes as well, which is crazy. But yeah, so like small stuff like check your camps at the 30 to see if they're blocked or not, or the 33, 35, see if they're blocked or not, move through the runes. But if you can ask yourself those questions repetitively, how is my safe lane, is the equilibrium fine, is the offlaner getting harassed out, do I need to do that, is my carry safe? In the jungle, can I see the offlaner, is my jungle, what do I need to do in my jungle, like am I stacking, am I moving, what am I doing? What's their vision in our jungle? Rotations, how, when, and why. Those 3 questions, if you can constantly ask yourself, when you're just kind of sitting there, kind of in the creep wave, or just off to the side of the creep wave, and you're not really doing much,
Dire's middle tower
ask yourself
is under
those
attack.
3 questions, and act upon the answers that you give yourself. So if you're like, oh, well, I probably could stack in about 15 seconds, not much happening in this lane, go do it. Oh, I probably should be looking at the equilibrium a bit more. It's going to be pushed pretty hard in the next 2 or 3 waves. Go stack and pull. Safe lane's pretty fucking
Radiant's
wrecked.
bottom
Like,
tower
we're losing
is
it pretty
under
hard.
attack.
Ask for rotations, get people to move in, that kind of stuff.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So, in saying that,
Radiant's
I watched the
bottom
rest of the
tower.
game, and you guys just I think it was Huskar. Was it Huskar? Huskar and Juicer was fine. She went Lincoln's first, which is good. Well, I'm perfectly, like, this is the build that I go, so I don't know. I
Dire's top
usually
tower is
go
under attack.
arcane boots nowadays. I usually go arcane boots into Aetherlands. I've lately been going tranquils into what's it called? Glimmer. I've actually done that. I've actually rushed Glimmer before in a couple of games. It's incredibly good for saving your carry in lane and in team fights, because just usually people don't have, unless you've got invis on your team, usually don't have detection that early if you get it, you know, pre 20 minutes or something. 4 stuff is fine. If I can, I'll go blink. But apart from that, you guys kind of stomped after that because you had this Tide went blink first. If this Tide had gone mech Greaves, you guys would have been wrecked. But then, oh, actually no, because you had a jungle. They had a jungle LC. Yeah, they had a jungle LC. There's not much you can do.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah,
is under
it's
attack.
pretty much all over. Good game, well played. But yeah, hopefully this video on me talking about how to combat your dead time in dead space and maximize your time as a position 5 for support helps you. Hopefully Michi gets some help out of it as well.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
I'm going to go back to my beer, and I'll probably do another video soon enough.
Dire's
Cheers.
middle barracks